This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in North Carolina. I am here with Gina Longo. Since 2020, she has specialized in helping businesses survive a turbulent economy by developing leaders that people want to work with. I am joined by the best-selling author, speaker, founder. Gina, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks. It's nice to be here.
Let's start off a little bit about yourself. You're formally educated with a bachelor's and a master's degree from North Carolina State University. As a freelance writer, graphic designer, you've served many clients in the past. As an airline captain and a flight instructor, you were a pilot in command on 3,000 plus flights. You've spent years as a travel expert in the UK, on the ground or up in the air. You are really using the skills that these captains do with their own teams. Share with me a little bit how this journey began for you.
Well, I actually went to flight school sort of by accident. I had not quite sure what I wanted to do with my life. I had my master's degree in forestry, as you say, from NC State, and I was working on a horse farm just because I love to ride. I loved horses. And then one day, a girl came in her fancy outfit, and she hopped on her fancy horse, and I'm standing there in the dust going, yeah, I'm never going to have a horse if I keep doing what I'm doing. So I talked to my dad, who was an airline pilot. He's a retired United Airlines captain. And he said, go be an airline pilot. You'll have enough money to have a horse and travel around the world. I said, great, I'll do that. So I actually had already applied to law school. I got accepted to law school. I got accepted to flight school. And I pretty much flipped a coin and I went to flight school.
I mean, you have to be careful what ideas you put in somebody's mind. Someone like you definitely went out and did that. The business world has always needed great leaders. Why would you say it's needed more today, possibly, than ever before?
The world is changing so fast, and it's hard for anybody to keep up. And the things that may have worked in the past, sort of that old school, hardline, autocratic way of doing things doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work with any generation, and particularly with kind of the younger generations coming up. They're looking for more. They're looking for meaning. They're looking for a sense of responsibility and social sort of activism. They want their companies and their leaders to do more than just kind of lay down the law and tell them how things need to be done.
We've seen that really happen even more so in 2020 when you first launched out to bring this to the world there. We've all seen the signs. Stay calm and carry on. As the creator of the Confident Leadership System, why is a calm leader a good leader?
Well, I can speak from my experience here as an airline captain. The last thing you want when everything's kind of going nuts is for your captain or your crew to sort of freak out, right? So being very calm. We do what's called wind your watch, okay? Bells and whistles are going off, alarms are going off, things are happening, you don't know what's going on. The last thing you want to do is start randomly flipping switches or randomly pushing buttons. Sit back, take a breath, wind your watch, and kind of go, okay, deep breath. What's happening? And that sort of way of doing things, way of thinking about things works also well in basically any other aspect of life too. If things are going crazy, don't just react to it. Sit back, take a breath, wind your watch, stay calm. Because as you stay calm, that transmits it to everybody else that you're around. Your calmness helps everybody else stay calm as well.
We all look to the calm leader to kind of lead us, if you will. The dictionary definition of calm is not showing or feeling nervousness, anger, or other strong emotions. Can calm be taught? And is that something
Yes.
that you can help others develop?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't, it's not something you have to be born with. Some people are sort of naturally more relaxed and laid back, and you would say calm than others, but it's absolutely something that you can learn how to do.
That is great. Whether a company sells products or services, at the end of the day, I mean, companies are about people. As you say, people don't quit their jobs, they quit their boss. So is it safe to say leadership matters?
Without a doubt. I can't even emphasize how much leadership matters. Everything starts at the top and works its way down. The culture at the top is going to reflect on the culture throughout the company. So who you pick for your leaders is going to direct how your company goes, how your company flourishes or doesn't flourish.
Good and bad leadership not only affects morale, but it also affects the bottom line. Is employee turnover costly?
Very costly. I mean, you've got the obvious upfront costs of recruiting, hiring, training them, but you also have costs that aren't maybe so obvious. In fact, like um, employee morale, as you said, loss of institutional knowledge. People maybe just sort of give up. You've heard the term quiet quitting. I don't love that, but it's actually what's happening. People see their colleagues leaving and they're like, well, why am I still here? Well, what's the point of my even being here? So yeah, it has more than just the initial, physical dollar sign outlay that you can quantify. It also has less quantifiable costs. Employee turnover does.
As a leadership development trainer, you help businesses reduce employee turnover by developing leaders that people want to work with. So, happy worker equals happy and healthy business life. Is that what you continue to find?
Yeah, absolutely. If your employees aren't happy, your business is not going to be happy. This is one of the things that we in the airlines try to make sort of management understand. If they kept us happy, us being the pilots, the flight attendants, the mechanics, everybody else, we would keep the customers happy. And the customers would therefore keep the bottom line happy, which would keep the shareholders happy. So to my mind, keeping your employees happy is the first step in keeping everybody else down the line happy and having your business succeed.
Gina, basically, as a leader, it's kind of lonely at the top. Men have been leaders for years. You're now teaching leaders they don't have to be alone. You can actually journey with them along the way and teach them these skills. Do you think that had anything to do with your journey on being a consultant?
Yeah, absolutely. I spent 3 years traveling in the UK. I went over there to be a simulator instructor and a classroom instructor. And then when that ended, I actually spent 3 years in a touring caravan with my two German Shepherds, traveling just the three of us around the United Kingdom. And I met three women. I met a lot of thousands of people, but I met three women who stood out. And these three women, based on some of the things they said to me, inspired me to actually create the Confident Leadership System. That's the individual private mentoring program that I created. One woman said she didn't want to start her own business because she was afraid of being accused of getting above her station. Another woman said the only reason that I was able to travel by myself was because I was an American. So obviously American women have, different attitudes apparently. And then the third woman was a lady who was recently widowed, probably in her 70s, and she had never had to put petrol in her car. She didn't know how to use the pump. She didn't know how to use the credit card. So I helped her when she asked. And it occurred to me after meeting these three ladies that there are a lot of women out there who have never been given the opportunity to pursue their passions or to do anything outside the box. And I thought maybe I could help. I could help them become who it is they want to be.
Do you think that confidence training is different for women versus that of men? And is that something you kind of find yourself gravitating towards, helping women in that arena?
I think it can be different, but everybody's kind of different individually. All of my friends, most of my friends are guys because I worked in a male-dominated industry for so many years. So I speak fluent dude, as I like to say, but it can be different. You do have to sort of sometimes deal with women differently. But again, it's all based on individual people. You can't just make a blanket judgment about how somebody might react to different types of training. It's all individual.
Excellent. This is in-depth training. In this soup to nuts confident leadership system, are these delivered in talks, workshops, individually, groups, or a little bit of all the above?
All of the above. It just depends on what either the individual or the company needs. I can work either with individuals for the confident leadership thing, and that's more of a sort of independent, private mentoring system where I work with individuals one at a time, depending on what their specific needs are. Or on the bigger scale, I can work with corporations, as you say, soup to nuts, to develop leaders from start to finish, from the onboarding all the way through to turning them into coaches and leaders themselves within the company.
So this is not off-the-shelf training. I mean, this is co-creating a leadership program that is very customized to that specific client. Does this all begin with a cause analysis consultation? And explain to me what kind of happens at that stage.
Yeah, it is. It is not off the shelf. I mean, I do have sort of standard talks that I can deliver, but that's not exactly what we're talking about here. I can have a standard talk where I go and I just talk to your people, a one-off kind of thing where we cover a specific topic. But the Confident Leadership Development Program is, as you say, more in-depth, and it does start with a cause analysis consultation, which is a 1-hour consultation where I actually send out a questionnaire. and you have to go through the checklist and answer the questions in the questionnaire that get really down into some of the problems you're facing, and we kind of dig into why you're facing them and what can be done about that.
Definitely digging deep with questions that provides you what you need to come back with an arsenal of tools they can help with. I mean, let's face it, we're still in a turbulent economy. Good leadership can be the difference between a business surviving or crashing and burning, with skills like hiring great talent, setting clear expectations and effective feedback, developing talent through coaching, managing performance, conversations. I mean, this is really about creating a motivational environment and kind of changing the culture, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, like you said earlier, it all starts from the top. So if your leaders have all of these skills in place, or you can help them develop them if they don't have them right now, then you're going to change the whole culture of your business, of your company. And that in turn trickles down to the workers, to the employees who maybe not be at management level, but you can also train them using these same systems to be prepared to move into the management level as and when they're ready.
Speaking of trickling down, be it a private mentorship or an executive roundtable, no great leader is an island. By building a community of peers, they can leverage everyone's expertise. Does this type of collaboration have kind of a ripple effect then that can be lasting for the organization?
Absolutely. Yeah. Executive roundtables I found they're very popular because the executives, I pull them in from different companies. So I very rarely will have executives from the same company. So they feel more able to speak freely about what's really happening, what they think, what's going on. They don't feel constrained by other people in their company being in there with them. And it sort of gives them that peer to peer interaction that they're looking for, and different perspectives, because maybe somebody's coming from the aviation industry or somebody's coming from the manufacturing industry. So they have different perspectives to tackle maybe the same problems. And it gives everybody sort of a different way of looking at things without worrying about what people in their own company are actually going to think. So it's definitely helpful.
Definitely strength in numbers, kind of a mastermind, if you will, as you help others master the principles of calm, confident leadership so they can get the results, raises, maybe even the recognition that they deserve faster and with less struggle and frustration. Does this continue to be rewarding for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't have gotten where I am without the people who helped me along the way. As you say, no one's an island, and I didn't get to be an airline pilot by myself. I didn't get to travel. Oh, I did travel by myself, but it helped. I had other people's help to get there. So if I can sort of pay that forward, if you will, then that's very satisfying to me.
That is excellent. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her website. On the website, you can learn more about this organization. Check out the testimonials of many that have benefited from this confident leadership system. They have a great resource library right there on the site as well. And if you can't resist, click the Don't Click Here button to basically download her guide. Stay calm and reach out today. The right mindset plus the right skill set equals the right results. That is Gina Longo, helping companies develop leaders that people want to work with. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.